Hey everybody, it's the Last Robo Kai, and welcome to the 4th episode of Let's Play Transformers Devastation. Last time we cleared up a few challenges and stuff, and before in the actual storyline we discovered there's a thing called the Proudstar underneath New York, and that's why the horrible things are happening to it. And today we're actually going to go take a look at the Proudstar after a little bit of early finagling, and we're going to be doing it as Optimus Prime, so joining me on this adventure.
It's cool, guy, and I'm still giggling relentlessly over the name Proudstar. Seriously, it's the dumbest thing I've heard in so long.
And I'm the ghost of America past.
Shut up.
I knew you were going to date the LP,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
shithead.
yeah.
Let's get stuck straight in.
Oy.
Every fucking time. It's like every single episode. It's like, hey, I hear Xenoverse is coming out, and the Let's Play's not coming out for 2 fucking weeks. Thanks for that.
The barrier is disabled. However, the door itself requires a key code.
Where do we find it?
A sentry bot has been deployed, which will transfer the key code to the nearest Cybertronian if it is destroyed.
That's a really fucking terrible system.
Yeah,
It is an extremely terrible security system, but it works out really well for us.
Why?
You know what? I think it's because they just wanted to have something on the way to actually getting to the door, because that's not the door. That was just the thing that turned off the security systems.
Oh my god.
So we're I keep forgetting I do that, and every time I check the video, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. So I've given Optimus a thermal version of his usual axe. I've given him a cryo hammer, so there's a chance he may.
Holy dick fuck.
Oh no, sorry, it's an energon hammer.
I'm fine with this.
Dude,
Or
it's
is it
like
a cryo?
train.
I don't know actually, but it does a lot of damage. Hammers are basically very slow, huge damage. It's pretty
So
pretty
they're
easy
basically
to see.
my favorite weapon in all games.
Optimus?
This makes me want to play that really bad Viking God of War again.
Another time, old friend. I'll never stay on task.
The guns I gave him, I've given him a sniper rifle just so I can handle all the nonsense that the Seekers give me, and also the Big 6 missile launcher there, which as you can see is ridiculously powerful as well. So Optimus is packing a lot of oomph.
Night.
This is a quality video game.
This is indeed.
So you might have noticed just then, you can actually hit the shields with the hammers and it won't bounce you off. And when you do a charge-up attack with them, you just destroy everything.
Oh my
It's fucked
god.
up. It's a fucked up thing to do, somebody.
They're gonna have to bury that guy in a matchbox.
He's a little cube now. Turn him into a micro machine. That's
Oh,
all blast of the past there.
Christ. That probably is how Micro Machines started. Transformers G1 and Micro Machines were about showed up at the same time, so just think about that. All of your childhood toys from Micro Machines were just defeated Cybertronians.
So they've introduced little proximity bombs now. You get too close to them, they detonate. You can get sort of close to them, and they'll detonate. And and you can also just shoot them from afar and they explode, which makes fighting things like the Decepticons here a little easier. The hammer is fantastic against regular bots. It's really
Even
quite
against
handy.
flying ones. I love it.
And that's the thermal axe. A lot of really nice post-combat poses for Optimus in this episode.
Yeah, this is going alright.
I realize that every time I'm on camera in this LP, I sound like I'm having the time of my life. But that's because every single time I watch another episode, it's more fun than the last one. Beautiful.
Yeah, so you can see this thing's about to explode, but then you move away, it doesn't.
Well, that's just rude. You made me a promise bomb, and that promise was explosions.
I was remiss in the last episode when I said that only Wheeljack gets an energy thing when you do a boost. Everyone does, so you can just do that.
Ah, well,
I was sort of
alright
trying to
then.
get into a good position to show that. So you can, if stopped, not have to try and spin around and get a run up like I often do.
Guys, the tech in the city. It's evolved on a divergent path from our own. It's not from the Decepticons. Then Megatron doesn't understand it any more than
Are you telling me Wheeljack is flat Earth?
use that to our advantage.
I mean, if flat Cybertron seems to be slightly different, but I mean, seems the same principle.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell with him. It wouldn't surprise me if
he makes sciencey stuff and also reptilians.
There it is.
So, yeah, the security drone, on top of being the worst secured sentry drone in existence, it does shoot at you. But on top of what it's doing there, it's also flying in a path with lots of bombs. So I don't know what the hell's wrong with this thing.
Somebody did not think this through very well. Also, so many dodges there. You were like Neo in the Matrix.
It's kind of interesting how the systems work in for dodging and stuff in this game, because with Wheeljack in the video I actually had him equipped with a thing that allowed more sequential dodges, because you can only dodge a certain amount of times before there's like I suppose a little cooldown pause.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I just felt that was something probably worth noting. Oh wow.
He called you a loser.
Yeah, I know. And then he exploded.
That took some nuts. And yes, that is a mechanical pun. Booyah! Insecticons.
They don't get a personal introduction, but it's time to fight the Insecticons.
They're attacking. All right.
It's Bombshell, Kickback, and in this particular iteration, he is called Scrapnel, because I know he has like about 3 different names.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. These are my least favorite of the cons.
Yeah, the Insecticons aren't really that interesting, but they are great if you want to make legions of mooks to beat up on as well. And they all have like their own distinct movesets and perform in their own distinct ways. The one doing that big energy sort of thing that comes down from the sky is Scrapnel. He does that a lot when he's in beetle form up there. All the goo that gets thrown around, that's Bombshell. And Kickback's probably the most benign out of all of them. In his insect form, he just like kicks at you.
So he's the one who's supposed to occupy you, while Bombshell and Scrapnel do things that are actually annoying and dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Scrapnel would manage to stun you for the first time I've ever seen, so that's a good one for him, I suppose.
I will say Scrapnel is a really good name.
I'll be honest. I was just saying his name because I wanted to say it.
Yeah, they sometimes call them things like shrapnel and other things.
I was half expecting it to be hard shell.
Yeah, I don't know. They just can't decide what they want to call that guy.
Autobots, welcome to the Proudstar, the great ship of Nova Prime. It can't be! You mean an Autobot ship is responsible for all the destruction in the city? It appears so, Wheeljack. But I doubt it was an Autobot hand that caused the destruction.
Another Cybertronian ship crashed on Earth? What are the odds?
Nova Prime's mission was to preserve our culture. The colonnade of Cybertron was a covenant between all Cybertronians. The colonnade is comprised of the essential aspects of our lost Cybertronian heritage, and it was placed inside the Pharaoh-Taxis, the supercomputer that controls the Proudstar. The Pharaoh-Taxis literally carries our culture inside of it.
What an historical find that would be. So much art and beauty and history has been lost. To find it again.
The Pharaoh-Taxis controls both the plasma core and the Insecticons. It directs the power and gives the Insecticons their function and purpose.
Okay, so we find the Pharaoh-Taxis and what? Destroy it? It's got so much of our culture in it. We can't do that, can we?
No, we can't. We find the plasma core and shut it down. Shutting down the power is the most surefire way to stop the cyber forming. Then we locate the Pharaoh-Taxis and preserve our culture, as Nova Prime intended. But for now, stay focused. There are more floors to this ship. We split up and locate the plasma core.
Cybertronian first and only.
I like this because this actually gives a purpose to the Autobots and a bit more of a reason for them to give a crap about what's going on.
I always do appreciate it when heroes end up having some goals beyond just being I don't like the thing that X is doing. That's always one of the reasons why I've liked villains more than heroes in a lot of general fiction. The villains are always the pimps, the players, the guys with the plans, and guys and girls with the plans in the case of like the Battletoads. And heroes so often are just the party of no. And it's just like, man, particularly in Transformers, Optimus Prime is so much cooler than that. He deserves better than that.
Little bit of foreshadowing there, and
Starscream
also
won.
got a look from Starscream, and oh look, here's a giant arena.
G effing whiz.
I wonder who's the next boss fight on this.
Wait. Let's back this way the fuck up. Cool guy, did you just say that the Dark Queen is anything other than a fucking chump?
She was awesome.
Surprise! I lied.
Also, what? Soundwave? Come on, man.
Yeah, it's Soundwave, and he's brought Ravage and Laserbeak.
Where is Megatron?
To deal with Soundwave first, you got to deal with Ravage and Laserbeak, particular Laserbeak. Because as you can see, he's discoteching the hell out of this floor. So I'm gonna try and get over to it. And if you try and get close to him, he just blasts you back, and like the floor just ripples like crazy. So we'll get rid of Ravage. Laserbeak's gone, so let's go deal with this idiot after I get myself shot in the face again. I keep doing that. I keep charging up and then getting shot. He has a lot of range shots, and look, it's really interesting with Soundwave because look, he's smaller than Optimus.
He always was, though.
Yeah, I know. It's really interesting.
G1.
Also, just listen to the music for a second.
God, there was love in it. You saddle him in truck.
That's how robots have sex.
I parked my trailer on him.
Abort mission. Always the coward, Soundwave.
Well, after getting like slapped on like that, yeah, I'd run off too.
Megatron has taken control of the ship and the Ferrotaxis that operates it.
Iron Taxi. Iron Taxi is what they keep saying. I'm never going to be able to unhear that.
No.
Even Sideswipe can't remember what it's called.
Plasma core and disable it. The Ferrotaxis has the sum total of Cybertronian culture
Fucking spy
recorded
droids.
within. If at all possible, we must preserve it.
Laserbeak just pissing you off so damn much.
Got him.
There.
I didn't mind so much because there was a lot of exposition going on in the background. It was just like, eh, whatever.
I mean, it would have been rude to cut that off because it was Wheeljack being stupid again.
Yeah, so the
is
the
this?
entire concept of the that's a Crimzeek. Crimzeeks are these like they're the other collectible. They actually were in episode 1. Crimzeeks were created by Megatron and Starscream fucking around in a lab on the Nemesis, a Decepticon flagship one time, and discovered that it just drains the energy from anything it touches. And so naturally, after setting it loose on the Autobots, the Crimzeeks go to Japan and just start eating all the energy there. In spite of the fact that they were only in that episode.
Yeah, they show up once and everyone's like, yeah, fucking Crimzeeks. Motherfuckers, what are you, crazy?
And the Crimzeeks just like, they just turn up in everything else. They've been in, well, they're in this game, obviously. They appear in lots of ways in the comics, like, just like little background things. There, and a few other things that the threads talked about that I won't talk about because it's really fucking weird.
Yeah, there have been a number of times where I've had to remind people that I am not leading them into this one because I don't want any blame for what's about to happen. Oh my god.
So obviously,
Side
backtracking
mission,
brings
yay!
us to this little arena fight, where we fight
What's
one
up,
of each of
kickback?
we fight a lot of kickbacks by the looks of things, actually. And as the laser thing goes around, you're small enough that your vehicle form can go under that. So that's kind of neat. I'm trying to destroy this thing, but because they like to move around a lot, it usually ends up in me not hitting it and taking a little bit of damage. But your damage is reduced when you've got that little energy shield around yourself, so it's not too bad. It doesn't. You notice when I did it in the very beginning of the episode, it stopped me from getting that getting interrupted as well. So it's kind of handy.
Oh man.
I've got it.
The part that I loved most about the recitation of the I honestly had completely forgotten that Crimzax exist, but the thing that I love most about that one is how they were basically created by Starscream and Megatron screwing around in the local equivalent of a Cybertronian hackerspace. Like they were just fucking around with 3D printers and laser cutters, and you make some sort of energy-hungry parasite. Sure, why not?
Yeah, it's like, who are the two people I wouldn't let inside of my lab? The guy that's always trying to backstab everybody, and the guy that just, like, goes, a new power source that will make everything powerful with horrible side effects. I'll just put that inside of me.
I'd like to think that they had a bunch of extra energon and got drunk on it in there, you know, like the quintessential hackerspace experience.
You know what I want? I want an open world Transformers RPG from CD Projekt Red.
See, I was actually going to ask, is there a game that, like, or a franchise, a license, or whatever that you just really would love, really would love to be made by Platinum?
Give me like 3 episodes to think about every single thing I've ever thought about.
Yeah, because I mean, basically any action heavy stuff. What do we got?
Because I mean, they made one for Korra, so it's like all bets are off at this point. Like anything can get made.
I mean, Korra was interesting because it involved a lot of like ranged melee, which was really cool. Like as many problems as that game had, I liked the combat in it a lot.
No, dudes, I got it. I got what we need from Platinum. Goat Simulator.
Kill yourself.
Like my answer is pretty much what anyone would expect me to say. I want Platinum to make a Kamen Rider game.
Yeah, no, that would legitimately be incredible.
I mean, they throw enough references to it in here anyway. It's like their games. Like, anytime you see someone just do a kick that makes everything fucking explode, yeah.
I would like a Mistborn Platinum game from Brandon Sanderson.
God, that's stun. It's like it's like the only time I've ever seen you get stunned is fighting against these bloody Insecticons.
Yep, they have a lot of ways to gang up on you, and these areas are actually make it really difficult. It gets worse when the areas start being a little more mobile as well, but yeah. More than the other enemies, these guys will have a lot of range attacks that will hit you from off-screen, and so you have to be paying attention.
Honestly, I half expect them to start snorting coke and playing "Turn Up the Radio" with a arena like this.
It is a really nice set of arenas. I like the Proudstar a lot for that reason.
Now I'm gonna have that stuck in my head all day.
You're welcome.
That's actually another ability we picked up, where if you use the light version of the speed up attack and you get into the air, you can just combo them into oblivion.
Honestly, it reminds me of the one beat 'em up version of Mortal Kombat. What was that game? You could play like Kung Lao and Liu Kang, and that was it. I forget what it was, but I remember.
The side-scrolling.
It was called Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, and it was more like like Final Fight in terms of how it was laid out.
Yeah, it was
like
more
3D.
like Final Fight, but like the entire combo thing there just reminds me of playing it with some of my roommates in college, because I was like actually trying to pay attention and get good at the game, where my partner playing Kung Lao was just like, okay, I see that air kicks works, so I'm going to buy this skill that says more air kicks.
This is why fighting games are awful.
That's all he did the entire fucking game.
So here's a similar sort of challenge to the one challenge I really don't like, except in this one it's a lot easier to destroy the things getting in your way. So, although this is kind of annoying. It just tried to stomp the guy that was above me, so it basically changed my alignment there. I'm not fond of that.
I was wondering if like the thing you were supposed to stomp had moved. So I was like, what the hell just happened there?
It just changed addresses. There's nothing I can do about it.
What a pain.
That's so good. Speaking of what a pain, it's now time for a little bit of platforming.
You
Oh,
know,
boy.
I want to go back. I still do want a Mistborn game from Platinum. What I really want is another Metal Gear Rising.
Metal Gear Rising was
Yeah.
was incredible.
It's kind of a cop-out answer, but that's the real
Don't
one.
care. It's a good answer.
Oh, no, that's perfectly acceptable. I'm sure the YouTube comments and the thread, the Something Awful thread, will have a lot of different ideas of game franchises they'd like to see as well.
let's get a Sword of Truth Platinum game.
One of the posts in there might even be good.
Let's not get crazy.
Wow. Yeah, let's. Jeez, wow.
Nah, I'm kidding. I love you guys. You know I love you. That's why I hit you.
I do want to say as well, these
So good.
these things here that open and close are the worst thing in existence, and their creation kind of makes me feel like someone really dislikes me. I only really get clowned on by the doors once in this entire sequence, and we've already seen it happen.
Yeah, I was gonna.
But
it happened
practice
earlier.
videos and everything else, it just happens all the time. Because I try to just go through, and the timing is always off. And I'm like...
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was definitely thinking, wow, I would just line up. Okay, so the thread was talking about like how the whiffs were coming back from like the Dishonored LP because I was really bad at choking people out in that game. And when I first saw like those crazy walls, I was like, "That's my whiff. That's my whiff right there."
That's my whiff, but thankfully in this video I actually avoid putting on my usual personal display.
Well, that's good because you know Soundwave was watching you.
He is.
I'm doing the my eyes to yours thing right now. You just can't see it.
Whiffing is not so bad in this game because you can just finish your combo, transform into a car, and catch up with whoever got out of your range. It's kind of nice.
Did you guys ever play back in, I don't know, like super early 2000s? Probably would have been PS2 era. I played it on PC. It was Spider-Man 2.
Did I? That game was so delightfully janky.
It was a hell of a game, and kind of miss it
with
sometimes.
Mysterio with the multiple health bars.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of a fucking shit show, but I really liked it.
That was probably the best progression of a boss I've ever seen, where over time he just has less and less budget.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So by the end, he's just like you've ruined him so badly. He's robbing a liquor store.
It's a little bit like the Frieza fight in the original Dragon Ball Z, where the longer it goes out, the worse the animation gets.
Right. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to do that entire sequence I did before again, because I had to go get this letter.
Why do you do this to me?
TRA. What does it spell? It's crazy.
I couldn't even begin to guess, Holmes. It's just
So,
no clue.
but I will use this as an opportunity to say we talked in the thread a little bit about it. The whole concept of the Ferrotaxis just really works for the Transformers because of how long their war's been going on for.
Yeah.
You know, everyone was asking us like someone asked in the thread like how come things are so messed up for them, and it's basically just they can be rebuilt so easily, Transformers, that the war goes on for so long, and as the longer a war goes on, the less people are like, you know, scientific advancements going on a lot less. Art and culture is just tossed completely to the side if it's not something used for like morale purposes.
Sure.
And so you've got this situation where these guys have been fighting for like millions of years, and it's messed up, and their existences are messed up. So the thing like the Ferrotaxis, which is actually like, hey, this is what you guys were like before you engaged in like the world's longest slap fight.
This was you. This was how cool you were.
I still like my answer of because Megatron is a douchebag.
I mean,
it's reliable.
Yeah, particularly in G1, he's basically the hugest D-bag, and I don't care. He's still my favorite.
He straight out admits to Optimus in one particular encounter when they're fighting on top of the Denver Dam or something. I can't remember what it was called. Something starts with
They
D.
fight on like
And
9 dams.
Yeah, let's just say it's the Hoover Dam for.
Well, it's not the Hoover Dam. It's like specifically like a different dam. But we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But it's time for another platinum trope that everyone's always really fond of. That Platinum love to do in their games.
Turret located on the platform.
Action roll.
I don't
okay
think I
with
really
this.
need to say what's happening here, do I?
Nope, I'm cool with this. Everything about this is good and not a single thing is bad.
My pants are still on.
Yep, this is like R-Type.
Yeah. So something important to note is we are actually introduced to a new kind of Insecticon as we're destroying everything. You notice the red ones, which are infused with red energon, which we know explodes when you shoot it. And in this particular case, it explodes and wipes out large swaths of enemies for you. Like that.
Beautiful.
I'm a little sad because every time I've done this previously, I've managed an SS in like test programming. I won't get it this time. Spoilers. I always like to just get everyone prepared for me to let them down.
This is seriously a joy to watch.
I want to know who started the whole thing of take an energy color and make it red and it fucks everything up. You've got red kryptonium, you've got red lyrium, you've got red energon. It goes on.
Yeah, I can't. I know that there's a thing surrounding that. I don't exactly know when it started culturally.
There's also an achievement for getting through the entire platform section without taking damage. This part also counts, because
Whoa!
now we're finally getting a formal introduction to Scrapnel. Because we're fighting a form that actually properly transforms into robot form.
I am glad it is spelled with a K.
That's a big MF.
Yep. So this kind of highlights the problem with trying to use the hammer on them, though, is that
He's quick.
yeah, he's quick. Insecticons aren't really good for that sort of thing,
Woohoo!
and you'll get 1 or 2 hits in, and then he'll just be out of range. But the 6-shooter's pretty good for this. Also, the 6 missile.
Honestly, just the way you tumbled out of the way and then turn into your truck form like that just looks so cool. I can't get over it.
I always find that's a better way to deal with those if you don't get the initial dodge, because what that allows you to do is just get up enough pace that you can get away from the subsequent beams. Because like I said, you only get a limited number of dodges per like sort of short time frame.
Woohoo! There goes the trailer, and there goes the Insecticon.
So if you can get through all of that without taking any damage, you get an achievement.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Okay, you're doing better than me then.
There's a lot of actual like do this and you get an achievement in this chapter. There's a lot of that in Platinum games in general, but there's also in this. This is another Platinum dick move. You'd be like, okay, let's go straight ahead. Don't go straight ahead. Never go straight ahead. Turn around the corner and go right. It's like the meanest bullshit.
You will always get screwed less. And that's you know, under the context that he just got hit twice.
Well, didn't really do that much damage.
No, it really didn't.
You know, I can't stop.
3 times.
But you don't get raided when you're outside of the combat, so it's alright. Let me up.
There we go. Sometimes 2 jumps just aren't enough.
Because, yeah, there we go. You gotta go around that way if you want to get the end, so I guess it's transmission.
Transatlantic.
Yeah,
Obviously.
it's probably transatlantic.
Man,
Because we have that many chapters. And this is why you don't keep going forwards. Because the landscape permanently changes. It doesn't go back after the fight. So,
Dios mio!
yeah, so, like, that's it. It's gone. And speaking of gone, it's time for Bombshell. Bombshell's kind of a messed up transformer. He actually generates little things that when planted, like, obviously it's not a part of this fight, but they're called Cerebro Shells, and he can actually, like, take over the minds of others, just by, like shooting those shells on them. He's kind of messed up.
Yeah, that's a little creepy.
You know, kind of like how some bugs can parasite on top of like other insects.
Yeah,
Like,
so
that's what Bombshell can
yeah, in
do.
case that's a good point. In case you guys didn't know, zombies are real, but they only affect insects. Basically.
For now.
Yeah, for now. Man, that retreating shot he has is a nasty move.
Yeah, you gotta watch him. He's got a lot of tricks. I always do poorly against him in this fight though, because the terrain is just going nuts around us, and you can get into really weird situations where you're trying to fight him, and then suddenly the ground just mucks up around you.
And then he just does a can-can kick because apparently he joined Chippendales dancers halfway through this fight.
I do like that high kick. Let's get the range on those.
Cool guy.
And see, and then this happens, and it's like, well, okay, all right, fine, okay, we'll have to work with this.
You'll have to do better than that, Peter Collins says, and we all clap inwardly. Oh, gorgeous way to finish that. I don't even care if it gave you a B. I loved that.
For a second there, I'm like, was that a spy drone? That was one of my rockets just sailing off into the distance.
Sure.
I'm
was like,
free.
So long, suckers.
I think you mean Sakresa.
No.
And then just because they weren't dickish enough, they've just got this small area that's got, like, bombshell goo falling from, I don't even know what you call that, but apparently it's just been, like, gooing the place up.
Bombshell.
And then they've got
bomb
one of these
goo.
doors. And it's just like, why would you do that? Why do you hate me so much?
Honestly, I tend to think that those sorts of sequences were designed on a Friday night when somebody was working late.
Optimus Prime, through the Matrix, we can foretell your future. You will defeat your great enemy, and the war you have waged will end soon. You will lead your people so that they may face their darkest hour, but they will face it without you.
You say the war will end, and my friends will be safe. That is all I could ever ask.
So that was Teletran Alpha. Teletran Alpha is the Teletran unit of the Proudstar, and the lore basically says that it's composed of parts that you can't make anymore. Like, it was Golden Age tech at its finest, and
Sure.
it always had the correct solution for everything. 100% success rate. The only times anything ever went wrong is because they found somebody screwed up the instructions and didn't do it properly. Nothing, like, it is literally the perfect machine, and to the point where it can predict the future.
Let's go back to the start of the video real quick. And
Uh-huh.
we already made the joke, kind of. But I want to drive home just how many ships from Cybertron have crashed on Earth over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, every single ship that has crashed from Cybertron has crashed on Earth. Like, there's no, oh, what are the chances bullshit. It's like, hey, we need to drive this plot along and we don't have any good ideas. New Cybertron ship, woo!
Yep.
I don't see a
I think,
problem with
I think
that,
that's what
but
they were like lampshading.
Yeah,
Bumblebee's
probably.
comment.
the only thing that makes sense.
Because Platinum are very aware of these sorts of things.
Yeah, no.
They're they remember a lot of silly stuff like that.
Offer for beers still stands. Being dead serious.
Guys, we might have a
Love this bit.
Optimus sighed as he unsheathed his katana.
plasma energy. There's a chance that if we blow it up, it'll take half of Earth with it.
Define chance.
My figure's unprecise, but at current calculations, roughly 92.787% chance it will.
Give me 5 more decimal places, bitch.
Best believe.
We capture the plasma core.
I was like, there's a chance it might explode. What's the chance? Oh, almost certain. That's okay. You know, technically,
I mean-
you're right, Wheeljack. We'll give that to you, but you're an idiot.
I play a fair bit of XCOM, and I wouldn't gamble on that one.
Yeah. Of course, we've had the introductions for the other two, so it's high time we got the last of the Insecticons out of the way.
Sure, dude.
Fucking weird ass robot.
The mouth. Okay, the mouth just threw me off.
Flashback doesn't really do like I said. It's really interesting. He's the last option because he's mostly just pure combat. He doesn't have any like particularly impressive stuns and stuff. He does have like a nice front thrust kick. He shoots his gun at range, and this is the only major difference between the two fights. Is he brings long bodies now.
You brought back up.
I'm not putting up with it though.
Dumb as you look.
Rude, Optimus.
So that takes care of them. Let's keep it going.
Rock and roll.
Is that a UI error, or is that intentional?
Oh, the dual health bar?
The double up?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I was wondering that myself.
You sat on him.
I got a B on every single one of those major Insecticon fights. So that's a B for bug.
The crystal shielding and dislodge it.
This seems like a fantastic way to blow it up.
So powerful. Please do give it. Almost there.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a weird sequence, I think, but essentially, it is projecting a make you go backwards aura the whole time, and occasionally brings down those shields, and then of course at the end you've got the Insecticons bothering you as well,
Let's break open that shield.
and a timer too, because cause.
Hurry up and eat him.
Megatron doing a bit of a winky face.
Yeah, the fuck you been this whole time, man?
This plasma core is Decepticon property. I will not let you put one rusty finger on it, Optimus. The ship is powered down for now. But if we allow Megatron to retrieve the plasma core before we find it, our victory here will not matter. We must move quickly.
So what, we're leaving
That's
the Proudstar again?
not a victory.
Yeah. He's just, Megatron's just shot the plasma core out into the city. He didn't, aim it anywhere. He just fired it out so we couldn't get at it.
F you got mine.
And so that's our reward. I don't know what that weapon is used by, so I don't know who it's a reference to.
Pew 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 pew.
It just looks really silly.
Hyper
Got
lightning
ourselves some more
axe.
toys. Yeah.
Twin thermal swords just makes me think of Wheeljack's melee weapon in Transformers Prime, honestly.
Yeah, the hyper lightning axe is more energon attack, and this is the most important piece of information.
Yes.
We now have access to we have access to Grimlock.
Meet Grimlock!
Me no.
Arguably the greatest character in Transformers history.
Yes.
He has a long history of incredibly silly adventures, including that one time he got super intelligence and created the Technobots.
I'm okay with everything you're talking about right now.
Also, apparently, the game unsaved me, buying parry, so I'm like, what? Explains why I didn't parry anything that entire thing. Good thing I'm so bad at it, I only ever do it accidentally. I just decide to buy everything else, because at this point it's just extra attacks after a successful counterattack and things like that. We've got everyone we need, so we'll buy everything. Yeah, he's trying to figure out how to use the items. And another thing I wanted to show off is what we'll be doing in the next episode. But I'm gonna develop some tech first. I wanted to actually show me doing this successfully on camera.
Sometimes I impress myself.
That's completely worthless.
Sometimes
See, even when you do it right, Wheeljack stuffs you up. But this one is a lot better.
That's not bad.
Alright, that's just fine.
Yeah. Extra time in focus mode. That'll come in really handy for Grimlock because he benefits with his special ability. And I feel it's important as well to let everybody know what to look forward to in the next episode. So we're gonna go down and we're going to equip Devastation drills.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this.
Everything about this is good. Oh man.
The only terrible thing is you have to wait a week until we see it.
Satisfied right now.
Then he just gives up. He's ready to go.
He's got more important things to do.
So yeah, that's what we have to look forward to next time. I not even kidding when I say that there is even more amazing things coming in Chapter 3.
Oh, man.
So hold on to your butts, because we're going to be doing Grimlock, and we're going to be fighting some pretty fun boss fights.
I love my life.
I don't have anything to add.
I love my life. I'm done. I'm good.
For once, I actually look forward to LPing.
Dude, brother man, we've done it. We've made Orv optimistic.
Well, let's see if we can't just like make him smile like you've been smiling this entire episode in the next episode.
Yeah, let's get out of here before I explode or something.
Yeah. So until then, I've been the last RoboKai.
I've been Cool Guy.
And I've been Grimlock!
We'll see you all next time.